Superman, world's greatest adventure strip character. Superman, world's greatest adventure character. Superman, by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. When civilization is threatened by invading giants, mere police forces are inadequate to meet the menace. A champion steps forward to battle in mankind's behalf. A relentless foe of all criminal intrigue. The mighty, the sensational. A hidden retreat within a semi-extinct volcano somewhere in the mountains of a far western state. And within the laboratory, two hard-faced men work feverishly at their revolting experiments. Splendid, Professor Z. Splendid. A scientific triumph, Dr. Cardos. It took countless experiments to achieve it, but at last, we've succeeded in increasing the size of living organisms. A tribute to your scientific genius, Professor. No time to pause for congratulations. Our work has only begun. We must try the process on human beings. And if it works, then we shall have the honor of launching a great civilization. Months later, colossal shadows are cast, and the earth trembles as a thing lurches across the countryside. Good heavens, this must be a nightmare. A colossal hand rends the US Mint asunder, scoops out great handfuls of loot. Keep firing! We haven't a chance! The guards are ruthlessly destroyed by a giant running amok. Help! Yeah! Then, off lurches the massive being, its deed accomplished. The San Pedro Special nears a trestle, unaware of any danger. But ahead. Ha 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 ha! A pounding fist makes sure the destruction is complete. Elsewhere, another giant crashes through a forest, ruthlessly smashing the timber. When morning dawns... What? The woods? Destroyed? Editorial office of the Daily Planet. The Mint looted. Trains deliberately smashed. Huge footprints 6 feet long substantiate strange reports that giants are responsible. If that's correct, then this is a menace even too big for Superman to combat. That in itself would make a good story. Assign both of us to this yarn, White. I'd like to be there and observe Clark's face when Superman cleans up on these giants. Dodging Lois, Clark retires to a storeroom where he changes into his Superman garments. Giants, eh? Looks like I'm going to get some real opposition for a change. Another newsflash! Citizens are fleeing from the West Coast as the giants again run wild. No sign of Clark. Where can he have disappeared to? Probably he's taken fright and hidden himself somewhere. That would be typical of him. Fly you to the West Coast? Lady, with those giants roaring around, that'll take a lot of persuasion. And here it is. Money. The plane takes off, carrying Lois toward one of the most terrifying experiences in her career as reporter. Nearing his destination in record-breaking time, Superman is startled at what his telescopic vision unexpectedly reveals. What? What Superman sees, within an almost extinct volcano, Huge giants erecting great homes. The roads are jammed with terror-stricken refugees from the Brobdingnagians. Meanwhile, at the home of the governor. What's the matter, Lillian? You look apprehensive. I don't know just what it is, Dad, but I feel as though something terrible is about to happen. Ah! A giant! Off lurches the colossal monstrosity with its two helpless captives. Superman's super acute hearing picks up a radio news broadcast. Flash! Latest report is that Governor Carlson and his daughter Lillian have been seized by one of the invading giants. At that moment, a cat of tremendous size pokes its head through massed trees and crouches for the attack as it sights an oncoming auto. A sudden leap. A giant cat! More speed, Henry! I'm pushing the car to the limit. As the cat alights, they commence turning over into a ditch. Forward races Superman, faster than the wind. Only seconds. To act. Catching the falling auto, he sets it upright back on the road. As the cat clamps its great jaws upon Superman's arms, the Man of Steel reacts unexpectedly. Up and away. We owe our lives to him. But look, he's racing up the side of the mountain. Henry, this is too much. I'm going to faint. Reaching the top of the range, Superman looks down through a heavy fog at the smoking volcano and the activity of the giants. If I had only remembered to bring a camera. The Man of Tomorrow's telescopic vision reveals a snow-covered glacier nearby. Racing down the side of the crater, Superman leaps across great crevices. I'll soon know what this deviltry is all about. Suddenly, he leaps down into a crack in the glacier. I'd better make myself scarce. Temporarily. From hiding, the Man of Steel observes several giants lurch past. I can hardly wait to tangle with those babies. Suddenly, from the laboratory, a magnified voice blares. Back, Superman! Back, if you want to continue your altruistic existence! Superman shouts back just as loud, but without the aid of mechanical contrivances. Sorry, I've become quite attached to this spot. I'm staying. In answer, a giant hand gropes down into the crevice in search of him. Don't try to tell me he just wants to shake hands. The stupid look on that giant's face. It's plain to see that his intellect doesn't compare with his size. Changing tactics, the giant stamps down. Mind if I don't stay put? Striking the opposite wall, Superman somersaults back. I think I'll give that guy a little memento. How's that? I call it the old squeeze play. As the giant jumps with pain, Superman hangs on grimly. Yippee! Ride 'em! Get him! Get him! Get him! Your master must mean get him. Whirling, Superman tears at the side of the glacier. What say we make this an even battle? Down crashes a great portion of the glacier into a crushing avalanche. What Superman's telescopic X-ray vision reveals to him, Lois Lane, beside the pilot. Don't you think we'd better clear out of here? Nothing doing. This is the story of a century. Fly lower. Up in the sky. A plane. His attention diverted. Superman is unexpectedly caught by one of the giant's flailing hands. What? Next instant, the Man of Tomorrow is pulled beneath the avalanche of ice with the others. Thus perishes Superman, before the fury of the mighty Professor Z. The ice hardens remorsefully upon Superman's figure, encasing him in a relentless grip. But the Man of Tomorrow's mind is not upon his own predicament. Lois, up there, venturing into terrible danger. The Man of Tomorrow's X-ray vision enables him to witness the following dramatic events. I tell you, we're flying too low! Look out! The tiny plane is savagely gripped by one of Professor Z's monstrous creatures. Not the girl! Do not destroy her! Bring her to me! No! No! Ah! Superman strains his muscles for a gigantic effort. I've gotta break loose, for Lois's sake. Great rents appear in the packed ice's surface. Then, up streaks Superman. Made it. As more giants rush him, the Man of Tomorrow leaps high over their heads. Now to reconnoiter. Atop the crater, Superman once more makes use of his telescopic vision. Something doing down there in the laboratory. Either you instruct your men that all interference end, or watch your daughter grow into a giantess. You wouldn't dare. Get in there. You're Carlson's daughter, aren't you? Yes. Oh, what do you think they're going to do with us? I've heard enough. A leap through the side of the laboratory, and... But the transparent walls of the building prove to be unexpectedly elastic. Superman bounces back from the terrible impact. Dazed, Superman is easy prey for a giant. Dr. Cardos and Professor Z confront the helpless Man of Steel. Join forces with us, and we will free the girls unharmed. I don't talk terms with rats. Very well. You have made your decision. The girls, increasing in height. You fiends. Odd how unconcerned the girls appear, despite their increasing height. Will you free them? Not unless you agree to my terms. Unexpectedly, twisting free of his captor's grip, Superman leaps up to the crater's edge. Moments to act. Raising high a boulder as large as a house, Superman hurls it into the heart of the smoldering volcano. Go to it! The entire mountaintop explodes. Melted by the lava, the glacier rushes on in a raging flood. I've gotta beat it to the laboratory! As the giants flee in mad panic, Professor Z and Dr. Cardos attempt to retain control over them. Stop! Stop! Do you hear? I, Professor Z, command you! But are crushed in the rush for their pains. Yeah! The lava nearing, and this strange glass refuses to yield. Hurry! Hurry! A supreme effort, and... There! That does it! Your amazing strength is beyond all belief. Superman! Why, you're both of normal size. Superman leaps off with all three and barely in time. You You're not even frightened. This isn't the first time I've soared through the air in Superman's arms. After a while, you get to like it. For all the giants are engulfed and destroyed by nature's unleashed fury. But how were the girls returned to normal size? Their size never actually was increased. The magnifying glass on the wall of their room merely gave that illusion. Later, at the state capitol, Lois meets Clark Kent. So you've scored another great scoop. How do you do it? I attribute it to my superb qualifications as a reporter, and 99% to the assistance of Superman. The end. Superman by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. When Clark Kent's aide is summoned to combat traitorous fifth column activities, he has no intimation that it will lead to his being faced with a murder charge. Clark then has no alternative but to venture forth in his dual identity as the dynamic Superman in an attempt to clear his name. In the privacy of his midtown apartment, Clark Kent surreptitiously peers through a window. Across the street, a man, his eyes trained upon this window. Swiftly, the Daily Planet reporter removes his outer garments, transforming himself to Superman. He's up to no good, I'll wager. And here's where I find out for certain. But as the Man of Steel is about to catapult himself through the open window, someone knocking at the door. Quickly, Clark slips a dressing gown over his Superman costume and dons trousers. Who can it be? Hope you don't mind me dropping in like this, Clark. I need your help. Frank Martin. Step in. Glad to see you. Are you still connected with the anti-espionage service? I can't tell you very much, except that we've a tip the leader of a dangerous fifth column organization is entering Metropolis by boat today. You've been quite successful at detective work in the past. If you uncover anything, will you let me know? Certainly. If anything of interest comes to my attention, I'll telephone you at once. After Martin departs, Clark swiftly strips off the screening garments, once again standing revealed as the daring Man of Tomorrow. The man I was going to investigate. Now he's following Martin. I'll trail the two of them and see to it that Frank comes to no harm. But as Martin's trailer joins him, now I recognize the other man. He's Jeff Carlton, Frank's assistant, probably acting as Martin's bodyguard. I could set my mind to ease about that. Through the sky hurtles the Man of Steel until he soars unseen above the waterfront. A crowd of sailors leaving a boat from South America. But look how they trail behind the sailor in front, as though in awe, and perhaps in terror. As the sailors enter a nearby warehouse, Superman leaps atop it. Something odd about the attitude of those men. My X-ray vision and super-sensitive hearing may supply the answer. Within the warehouse, the sailor with the haughty bearing addresses his companions and other men who have been awaiting them. As you all know, I am Eric Rebel, sent to this country to coordinate our activities. Also, I bring payment to you, if you'll kindly line up. Consulting a list of the individuals present, Rebel sees to it that each receives the sum allotted. Pah! It's a mere pittance. No complaints. On the day the United States is conquered, you will receive rewards beyond your highest dreams. What we'd prefer is more than pin money right now. Hold your tongue. You will find ample quantities of subversive printed matter here. See that it is distributed widely. Also, make up list of skilled workmen to be planted as spies and saboteurs in armament factories. That literature is dangerous. Authorities have taken alarm. They are on the lookout for fifth columnist. We will have to take care. I've heard enough. Now to teach them a little respect for the country they're seeking to destroy. We have a brilliant future before us. We must continue our courageous effort to undermine the United States. Our reward will come when we are its masters. Let's see just how courageous they are. Before the amazed eyes of the conspirators, the heavy box crashes through the wall. What? Must be an earthquake! Run! Run! Followed an instant later by the Man of Steel himself. Where's all that bravery we were hearing so much about? I'll take that list if you don't mind. Get him! He's taking the list that could send us all to jail! The menace of exposure confronting them, the others close in upon Superman like cornered rats. Knives, clubs, chairs. You don't seem to have much confidence in your fists. Get that list. Destroy him! But next instant, they all fly back, as though they had struck a solid wall. Give me room! Got you covered. Now either you hand over that list, or I'll take that. So you were going to shoot me, eh? Just for that, I'm going to shoot you. No, no, that would be murder. Disregarding Rebel's pleas, the Man of Tomorrow fires. Yeah! But before the bullet can reach him, Superman's other hand darts out and catches it. Unless you quit your subversive activities, next time, I won't bother to catch it. That ought to throw a scare, and maybe a little sense into them. Now to return to my apartment. Later, in his identity as Clark Kent, the reporter telephones Martin. Frank, this is Clark Kent. I have an important paper I'd like to turn over to you. Meet me in office 321 in the Federal Building. I'll be waiting. But as Clark reaches room 321, a shot from within the office. Carlton, you've slain Martin. That's gonna be your hard luck. Catch. What? As Carlton had calculated, Clark automatically catches the hurled gun. Next instant, the police enter, drawn by the shot. What's going on here? This man just shot my chief. Careful, he's got a gun. Drop that gun. But there's no reason why I should have killed him. Carlton is guilty. No motive, eh? Search him. What's this paper you had in your pocket? A list of fifth columnists. There's the motive. Martin was on the point of exposing Kent along with other traitors. Kent killed him to cover up. I'm being framed. Come along, you, and don't try anything. I've got to escape. Prove my innocence. So swift that the eye can scarcely follow, Clark suddenly leaps upward, seizes a girder. This has gotta work. Then swings himself atop it. Huh? Where is he? He was here a moment ago. But now, he's gone. Disappeared. Now if only they don't look up. A great leap carries Clark atop the federal building. Made it. Unnoticed. First, I've got to get rid of these puny handcuffs. Then I transform myself to Superman. Superman makes use of his X-ray vision to note. Carlton is no longer in the building. I'll hop over to that building where the subversive group met. Rebel. Departing. I'll keep him company. The auto drives to the Metropolis airport. From his vantage point, Superman observes Rebel enter a huge private plane along with other prominent fifth columnists. Looks like a mass flight. As the plane takes off, a cloaked figure tackles the undercarriage. Let's see what they're up to. But I don't want to go. My family. My business. You've got to flee with us. The moment that list becomes public, we're all marked men. As the plane swoops downward toward a valley, Superman looses his hold. They're going to land. Alighting atop a mountain range, the Man of Steel is amazed at the sight that greets his eyes. What? In the valley below, a scene that might well be laid in Europe. From this secret base, a subversive army that can strike terror and destruction from the rear when the military forces of the US are attempting to defend the coast against foreign invasion. Keeping to the shadows, Superman trails Rebel. He's about to enter that large tent, obviously headquarters. Report. We were making splendid progress, Sagdorf, until we were confronted by a man possessing superhuman strength. He was a veritable one-man army. We were no match for him. What lies are you telling me? If you failed because of your clumsiness, admit it. But whether you believe me or not, I insist we were attacked by a super strong man. We'll drop the subject. Your orders are as follows. Adopt another name. Return to Metropolis and report to Jeff Carlton, one of our agents who has secured a post in the US Anti-Espionage Service. They've gone. This is my chance to get a look at Sagdorf's files. But a sentry observes Superman enter the tent. A spy! So vital information is stored in the safe. I'll try to make this as quiet as possible. As I thought, a spy. One swift thrust, and he's done for. As the sentry attempts to bayonet Superman. Huh? Oh, so I'm no longer alone. Give me that. I'll teach you a trick with it that you never dreamed possible. Help! Spy! Superman bends the rifle so that the bayonet is buried in the bud. That ought to hold you. Cries for help from that tent. A spy. Be merciless. But as the troopers attempt to rush into the tent, a human thunderbolt sends them flying back. Let me through. Can't you see I'm in a hurry? Sighting a long line of military planes, Superman races through them in a wave of destruction. These planes will never bomb American cities. Leaping at the side of a hangar, Superman shoves at the wall. Down you go! So that it collapses upon and destroys the planes within it. Roused by Superman's activities, the soldiers mercilessly bombard him. You're wasting your ammunition. I can use you. Using the field gun as a battering ram, Superman smashes the other weapons into crushed masses. Not one must remain undestroyed. Into the electric plant streaks the Man of Steel. With a surge of giant muscles, he rips a great dynamo from its resting place. Up. And I do mean up. Now for the munitions plant. A ticklish situation. If I attack the munitions works, I'm sure everyone in the neighborhood will be killed. But I can't allow that menace to the US to exist. Sagdorf solves Superman's problem. Fire! But if you should hit the plant... Neatly, Superman dodges the screeching shell. Missed me. But as the shell strikes the factory, there is a terrific detonation. The world seems to fly apart. Completely destroyed, including the plotters responsible. Not a soul left alive, except myself. There's still the matter of clearing my name to be attended to. It's back to Metropolis for me. Alighting atop the federal building, Superman dons his civilian garments. No more super strength today. From now on, I've gotta rely on my wits. Clark descends to room 321. Someone is in the room. Opening the door slightly, Clark sights. It's possible I may have missed something important. Stepping cautiously in, Kent removes a revolver from a desk drawer. Turn! What? It's Kent. Yes, and I'm here to see that you confess to your crime. I know that you're not responsible, but try and get me to repeat it in public. That's just what I'm going to do. Get moving. In a taxi bound for the Daily Planet building. You can't get away with this. That remains to be seen. At the newspaper office. Clark, a fifth columnist, and a murderer to boot. I can't. I won't believe it. But the authorities insist that they caught him red-handed, and his successful escape attempt puts him in a bad light. Help me! This man's mad! Clark! Put down the gun, Clark. Not until Carlton admits who really killed Martin. You wouldn't shoot. You wouldn't dare. No? I'll count to 3. Then you'll find out for certain. 1, 2, 3. No, don't shoot. I'll confess. I did it. I killed Martin. You could put that in black and white. Clark, are you out of your mind? Don't you know that that confession won't hold? It's obtained under duress. Read that. The fullness of those details should convince anyone that I'm in the clear. Wow. This is the biggest spy expose that's come our way in months. Hammer it out on the typewriter, Clark. Days later, Clark has been cleared of all suspicion. Supposing Carlton hadn't confessed, would you really have shot him? That's a little thought you can puzzle over for the rest of your days, my dear. The end. Superman by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. Carnival crooks, scenting an easy victim in Clark Kent, take the meek reporter's pocketbook for a ride. But in doing so, they chart their own doom. For the timid Daily Planet scribe is in reality none other than Superman, the courageous, crusading Man of Steel. As the Jackal Carnival opens its run in Metropolis, gay crowds flock to its grounds. I don't know whatever induced me to accompany you here. Perhaps you're beginning to learn I'm not so hard to take after all. I promise you a swell time, Lois. It begins to appear that Clark is correct. Having fun? Lots. See that guy, chick? I'll bet we could take him for plenty. Let me handle this, Al. Toss a ball through the opening and win a beautiful prize for the little lady. But I don't care to play. Let's toss just a few. Plunking down a quarter, Clark tries tossing balls. I'll deliberately miss. No luck. I made one. Keep shooting. You'll win a better prize. I'd better stop. I'm afraid I'm not so good at this. Go ahead. Throw this. As fast as they throw balls, the proprietors of the Toss It Through concession keep forcing more upon them. But you're doing fine. Keep playing. That's enough. See those larger rewards? Get one more ball through, and you can have one of them. When Clark makes another good shot. That's all. How much do I owe you? I'll take another, and another, and another, another, and another. Hey, wait. Just how much do I owe you? You owe for 30 more sets. Sets? 30 more? But we've been playing only a few minutes. Clark, don't pay them any more until they tell you how much you owe. How much do I owe? Another $2 will cover it. Will you lend me $1, Lois? I'm one short. $8 for this cheap award that costs you only a few cents? It's thievery. Tut-tut, lady. Them's harsh words. You're not going to let these cheap crooks get away with this, are you, Clark? I demand... Get going! Wait, Lois. I don't want a thing to do with you. You numbskull. Later, at the Daily Planet. What's eating you? Plenty. Clark was just taken in by some carnival thieves. They deserve to be exposed. This is what happened. Anyone who would fall for such a shoddy skin game almost deserves to be trimmed. However, if you can dig up actual proof of wrongdoing, I'll be glad to give it a space in the paper. Good news, Clark. You've a splendid opportunity to get even with those crooks. Even? How? White just informed me that if we can get evidence of their crookedness, he'd print the exposé. Now wait, actually, we're not positive I was cheated. That weak-kneed panty waste makes me sick. If he's afraid to go along, I'll just have to cover the assignment myself. Stepping into the privacy of a storeroom, Clark swiftly changes into his Superman outfit. I'm afraid that once again, Lois is going to step right into a peck of trouble. Superman trails the planet Sob's sister, high in the sky. Just as I thought, she's heading straight for Jackal's carnival, and with a camera under her arm. Lois takes up her station a short distance from the Toss It Through stand. Now to snap pictures of victims being trimmed and paying in protest. $5 for tossing a few balls? It's highway robbery. Well, pay up. No one forced you to play. Say, it's that girl, and she's been snapping pictures. Huh. These snapshots ought to be beauties. Lois is about to leave, but the crooked concession men have noticed her. Here's where the fun begins. As Lois walks past the stand, Al deliberately trips her. What? Oops. My error. Purposely, Chick steps on Lois's camera, destroying it. Tuh. Now ain't that too bad? You broke my camera deliberately! Serves you right for snooping. And what are you going to do about it? I'm going to do plenty. I'm going straight to the head of the carnival and insist he throw both of you off the lot. At the carnival's pay wagon. What do you want to see Jackal for? That's my business. I demand to see him at once. I'm Jackal. What do you want? I just want to tell you that the proprietors of the Toss It Through concession are thieves, and I can prove it. Unless you want your carnival to have a black name, I urge you to get rid of them. Crooks, working for me. I won't have it. Jackal speaking. I want the two men running the Toss It Through concession sent to me at once. Superman trails Chick and Al. This ought to prove interesting. I'll eavesdrop with my X-ray vision and super-sensitive hearing. But, no excuses. I won't have any cheap crooks spoiling my carnival's fair name. Get off the lot. You're fired. This is more like it. Are you satisfied now? Very. And that's that. I can hardly wait to tell Clark how I handled this. There she goes. After Lois departs, Chick and Al return to the pay wagon. How'd I do? Nice act. You almost had me believing you. It was an old stall, pretending to fire you. But it always works. And there's always another chump born every minute. Lois wouldn't be so self-satisfied if she could get an earful of this. Send in the right men. It's time to collect. Shortly after, a number of individuals file into Jackal's presence. Not a bad take, Fingers. Here's your cut. Funny. I pick pockets in crowds. Then you pick mine. You'd be surprised how much I picked up shortchanging the customers. Yeah? Well, it's chicken feed compared to what my crooked gambling devices bring in. After the others leave, Jackal gloats over his illegal harvest. A little more of this, and I'll be able to retire. Not bad. Not bad at all. As Superman is about to attend to Jackal, he pauses as he hears a disturbance. What's that? You heard me. $10. But I've only thrown a few balls. And I've only a few cents on me. Welching, eh? Let go! Haha, give it to him. We've a way of handling smart guys like you. Infuriated, Superman takes a great leap that carries him to the rear of the stand. Hard-boiled, eh? I'll see just how tough they really are. Suddenly, Superman's fists smash through the wall, seize the collars of the two thieves. Huh? What? A terrific yank, and let's get acquainted. Get him! How do you like this? You want to give me your pocket knife, eh? Snatching away the pocket knife, Superman places it in his mouth. Then... delicious. He swallowed it. Let go! Where are you taking us? Back into your stand. What's the idea? You'll learn. Gather round, folks. Try your luck. 3 shots for a quarter. Hit him on the dome, and you get your money back. Let me try this. I'm gonna enjoy this. Those fellas gypped me out of $5. Stop it! It ain't human! It's ouch! Shortly after. There. That covers what I was bilked out of. Let us go. Please. Please. Very well. I still owe you boys something. Bon voyage. As the two terrified sharpers drop earthward. Superman demolishes the crooked concession stand with one well-delivered blow. There will be no more thievery here. Then catches the falling men before they strike Earth. Why I'm bothering to catch you, I couldn't say. Hey, Rube! In response to Chick's cry for help, Carnival toughs converge on Superman. Talk about your warm receptions. Before the attackers' amazed eyes, Superman leaps at the ground before them and burrows beneath its surface. Huh? He was here a minute ago. Where is he? Yoo-hoo! Right behind you. As they charge again, Superman easily escapes by leaping from shoulder to shoulder. I've got him! You mean you almost had me. What can we do? He's fast as lightning, and slippery as grease. Tell you what, I promise not to move this time. True to his word, Superman does not budge as the mob of carnival roustabouts converge upon him. Fall down! He just stands there and takes it with a grin. Really now, there's a limit to my cooperation. Appearing on the scene, Lois cites Superman, attacked by a mob. Stop it, you cowards! Lois, keep clear of this. I'll teach you to butt in. Go ahead, slug her. If there's going to be any slugging done around here, I'll do it. Look out! Ugh! While Lois looks on in delight, Superman pulverizes her cowardly assailants. I'll teach you to respect women. You tell 'em, Superman. As the police approach, drawn by the noise. Go ahead, confess your misdeeds. We ran a confidence game. I shortchanged the customers. Ouch! I picked pockets in the crowd. Arrest them! It'll be a pleasure. Previously, one of the carnival toughs had slipped away. I've gotta warn Jackal. What is it? Superman, cleaning up on the men. The Man of Steel. Here. That's my cue to exit. Off speeds Jackal in his private car. My men captured by cops. I gotta get out of here. Stop! Stop that car! Like blazes I will! Citing the carnival owner's ruthless action, Superman leaps in pursuit. He won't get away with that. Your one and final order. Stop! Get away! This is only the beginning. Now will you stop? Jackal's answer is to swerve, so Superman is sent flying off the running board. So you want to get rough, eh? Leaping forward, Superman catches the car's rear bumper and halts its forward plunge. This is as far as you go. Peekaboo, I see you. Oh! The carnival owner attempts to dash away. Bud, come on along. Let go, you! Here's your man. You can't arrest me. I'm innocent of all wrongdoing. He's right. We can't hold him. If you'll examine the contents of his bag, you'll find it contains valuable articles that were stolen from visitors to the carnival by pickpockets. Try to talk your way out of that. Meanwhile, Lois is having difficulty telephoning in her story. Doggone it! The line's busy! Here's where I do Lois a good turn. Having trouble? I'll be glad to drop you off at the Daily Planet, sooner than you can put that call through. That would be swell. Who are you? How do you manage to show up exactly when I need you? Be patient, Lois. Someday I may be able to give you the answer. My everlasting thanks. Better rush that story into print before it's too old. Later, Superman returns to the Daily Planet, but in his identity as Clark Kent. Lois, I've been thinking it over. You're right. Something ought to be done about that crooked carnival after all. You're behind the times, Clark. Read this. Thanks to Superman, the scoundrels responsible have been arrested. The end. Be wary of unscrupulous operators of gambling games. They are always on the lookout for unsuspecting victims. Superman by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. With the city of Metropolis helpless before the depredations of drug-crazed bandits, Superman finds a task worthy of his unique powers: the eradication of lawlessness deliberately fostered and protected by a corrupt practitioner of law. Metropolis is the scene of a flood of brutal, daring robberies. But though confusion grips those who enforce law and order in the city, a lone cloaked figure prepares to launch his battle against the evil forces that harass the town. Superman. Someone has got to stop these ruthless criminals, and I nominate myself for that job. In the streets below, a car full of gangsters desperately seeks to elude the pursuing police. One of the stray bullets narrowly misses Lois Lane, Sob's sister on the Daily Planet. Whoa! I'd better duck for cover. Ruthlessly, the speeding car crashes a green light and sends a helpless cripple careening from his wheelchair. School children narrowly miss being run down. The Man of Steel plummets down before the gangster's auto. Don't care who you run down, eh? Why not pick on me? As the machine strikes him, the Man of Tomorrow does not yield, but sends it somersaulting back through the air. You picked on the wrong fella this time. Wait! You'd better devote all your attention to those thugs before they escape. The bandits are all nabbed, with one exception. Gotta get away. Here's a new story for you, Lois. These crooks are all dope addicts. Their gang chief must deliberately dope his men before sending them out. He's gotta be apprehended at all costs. After the police depart with their prisoners, a sentinel remains on guard high above the street. It looks as though the police overlook someone. What Superman's telescopic X-ray vision reveals to him. The fugitive crawls forth and hurries off, unaware that he is being trailed. John, I'll go to good old John. He'll tell me what to do. Later, he's led me directly to the Metropolis Tower building. Moments later, in the office of John Perone Investments. Nate, Didn't I tell you, Grant, never to come here? Yeah, but I gotta have another shot of dope. I just gotta. I tell ya, a caped figure jumped down before our car, flipped it over like it was a kiddie car. Trying to make me believe that Superman fairy tale, eh? More than likely, it was the dope that made you see things. The dope. You'll give it to me, won't you? Here. Can't give you more. This is all I've got, and the stuff is hard to get. Flipping a key on his communication box, John whispers briefly into it. And that's how it is. Okay, I'll tell Nate to lie low. Wonder who Perone was talking to. Brokenshire's believed to be a shady lawyer. There might be some connection. I've a wild plan. Whether it'll succeed in trapping the remainder of Perone's gang is problematic, but worth trying. Shortly after, the Man of Steel swings in through the window of an express company. The room's deserted. Good. I'll help myself. Securing an express company blank, Superman swiftly scribbles a few brief words upon it. This ought to do the trick. Later, dropped from the Man of Tomorrow's hands, a sheet of paper wafts down to Nate's feet. Huh? What's this? One glance at the scrap of paper, and Grant hurries back to his employer's office. Wait till John sees this. You back again? And after what I just told you? This is important. Just look at this. An express receipt for the delivery of $500,000 worth of morphine to the Lake Drug Company. Say, you have got something here. You'll help me steal that haul? You'll let me have some for tipping you off? No, Nate. You go into hiding. I'll steal that stuff myself. I'll go along with the boys to see that this job isn't bungled. And I'll be there too, Perone, waiting for you. Later, at the Daily Planet. Tell you what, Clark. I'm in a benevolent mood. I'll break down and let you take me to a movie tonight. That's fine. Just fine. But is it? I've got a certain pressing appointment tonight. And that evening. Let's go, Lois. At once. But we haven't even seen the complete feature. What say we go for a joyride? Joyride? I think I'll drive you straight home. I don't get this. You've pestered me for a date for days, and now that I've accepted, you act like you're anxious to get rid of me. You'll have to excuse me, Lois. I'm not used to this hectic nightlife. To tell you the truth, I'm sleepy. To make certain he has not missed an important development, Clark drives past the Lake Drug Company's warehouse. But as he does... Did you notice how that car full of tough-looking men paused before the warehouse, gave it the once-over, then continued on? I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. Perone and his men. Later, as Clark drops Lois off before her apartment. You needn't trouble to accompany me to the door. Huh. I still think there was something suspicious about that car's actions. Forget it. You've been reading too many detective stories. Her reportorial instincts aroused, Lois no sooner enters her apartment than she telephones. Sergeant Casey? Lois speaking. How quickly can you get here? It's important. A short distance from the warehouse, the Planet reporter removes his outer garments, transforming himself into Superman. I haven't a second to spare. John Perone will strike at any moment. Perone's mobsters overcome a lone guard, unaware of Superman's surveillance. This'll rock you to sleep. Ugh! Nice work, Dirk. Into the warehouse, men. A lithe, noiseless leap carries Superman atop some packing cases. I won't go into action until they've thoroughly incriminated themselves. What is it, Lois? Drive straight to the Lake Drug Company's warehouse. I'll tell you on the way. Shortly after, as they approach the warehouse. I still think you're leading me on a wild goose chase. You do, eh? Then explain how the Watchmen came to be bound and gagged. As Casey frees the guard. You'd better go for help. Nothing doing. I tipped you off to this, and I want to write up an eyewitness account. The Watchmen can do the errand running. Lois, and Sergeant Casey. I might have known she'd pull something like this. Must say this is the slickest job of safecracking I've pulled in a long time. $500,000 worth of morphine for the taking. What a haul! In her excitement, Lois fails to notice a small box at her feet and trips. Oops! The cops! Get 'em! I've got to attract their fire, or Lois and the sergeant are goners. The Man of Steel's ruse works. The bullets! Bouncing right off him! Keep right on shooting. I don't mind a bit. Superman! In you go! Deftly, Superman overturns the huge packing box so that the burglars are imprisoned within it. How's that? You've trapped them neatly. But you've also succeeded in trapping yourself, Superman. Raise your hands. Okay. I told you to raise your hands, but not that high. Put down that gun. Don't you realize he saved our lives? When more police arrive, they raise the crate so that the imprisoned gangsters can crawl free. Keep those hands raised. You're under arrest, Perone. What a story. And to think I almost let Clark talk me out of it. Later, at the police station. Brokenshire, this is John. I'm in quite a spot. You'd better hurry down to the jail at once. When Brokenshire arrives, he has his clients released on bail. If you ask me, Brokenshire is the worst of the lot. We no sooner arrest them than he gets them out. From what you told me, it appears that Nate must have tipped off the police. You'll be wise to see to it he doesn't testify for the state. Don't worry about Nate. I'll take care of him. On the day of the trial, Editor White of the Daily Planet dictates an editorial. It's a shame that John Perone, who has broken almost every existing law, should always have escaped punishment in the past through the advice of lawyers. However, it looks like he won't be able to dodge this rap. And within the courtroom. Now, Miss Lane, tell the jury exactly what you saw. Well, when Sergeant Casey and I entered the storeroom, we saw Perone and his men working at the safe. Next witness. We caught them red-handed, rifling the contents of the safe. Why don't you do something? Why don't you cross-examine those witnesses? You've done nothing throughout this trial except sit there and grin like a Cheshire cat. Cool down, John. You'll learn why soon enough. Gentlemen of the jury, I have proven to you that beyond the slightest doubt, Perone and his men are guilty of robbing a storeroom. The state rests its case. Your Honor, I call upon you to instruct the jury to bring in a verdict of not guilty. True, the prosecutor has proven my clients guilty of robbing a storeroom, but he has brought in no evidence to indicate their guilt of the robbery of a storehouse, which is the charge in the indictment. What? You will please bring in a verdict of not guilty. After Perone is pronounced not guilty. Ho ho ho! Brokenshire, you're a wonder. Shh! Save your laughter until later. Let's get out of here. Clark accompanies an indignant Lois to the office of the chairman of the grievance committee of the Bar Association. It's a crime that lawyers should be able to twist legalities so that proven crooks can go free. There is no regulation against a lawyer proving his client is not guilty of the charge on which he has been indicted. However, speaking as an individual, I'm certain Brokenshire advises criminals how to get away with their depredations and encourages them in the commission of crimes. I hope that someday, someone will prove these suspicions of mine. As Lois and Clark depart, well, if it isn't the girl reporter who tried to send me to the penitentiary. I'm giving a victory celebration at the Grey Goose tonight. Why not come? We wouldn't think of it. Oh yes we would. See you there, Perone. But Perone owns the Grey Goose Roadhouse. If we go there, it'll be like putting our heads into a trap. Nevertheless, we're going. Perone might say something that will betray him. And if he does, I want to be there to write it down on my little pad. That evening, as they enter the roadhouse which is on the outskirts of Metropolis. They're all in evening clothes. So they are. We're looking at an exhibition of what the well-dressed gangster will wear. As the evening grows older, the jubilation of Perone's pals becomes even wilder. A toast! A toast to Perone and Brokenshire, who can make the law jump through a hoop at will. Thanks, Lil. Careful. Remember, the reporters. A sudden commotion in the kitchen, and Nate dashes into the room. You've held me prisoner for days. I told you again and again, I didn't squeal to the cops. But now I'll tell the police enough to send you to the chair. Throw that crazy loon out of here. Don't mind that lunatic, folks. Continue with your fun. Just the break we want, Clark. Come on. Careful, Lois. Sorry, sister. No one leaves. Yet. Are you going to let him keep us prisoner? There doesn't seem much we can do about it. Lois walks off, peeved. Retiring behind some drapes, the meek reporter goes into action. Something big is about to pop. I'm certain of it. Twisting the fancy grill work out of shape with his bare hands, Superman slips through it. That sounded like gunshots. You shouldn't have killed Nate. You fixed other murders. You could fix this one too. The people downstairs witnessed you had a motive for killing Nate. All you could do now is dispose of the body so that it cannot be identified. Without a body, a prosecutor cannot even secure an indictment. Pete, get out the truck and place the stiff in the back. There they go, to execute their fiendish plan. Superman leaps noiselessly atop the speeding truck. And here's where I throw a monkey wrench into their well-laid plans. Shortly after. Your plan? Once this gasoline is lighted, they'll never be able to identify the body. Retiring a short distance, Perone hurls a blazing torch toward the gasoline. But as he does... What? This time, Perone, You are going to pay for your crime! Seizing the squealing Perone, Superman hurls him into the truck with the others. Rejoin your pals! The Man of Tomorrow tears off the truck's wheels and twists its metal body together so that the gangsters are hopelessly imprisoned within it. Try breaking out of there. Leaping back across the countryside, Superman returns to the Grey Goose and twists the grillwork back into place. And now to return to my identity as Clark Kent. Clark telephones the police station and speaks in a disguised voice. There's trouble at the gasoline storage tank on Route 4, near Gates Road. A minute later, he telephones again, but speaks as Kent. Sergeant Casey? Come out to the Grey Goose at once. Lois and I are being held here against our will. When the sergeant arrives, he swiftly convinces the guard at the door to let Lois and Clark pass. I'd like to tell Perone what I think of the way he entertains guests. I suppose you're pestered a lot by assignments like this. If you want to see the kind of inconsequential stuff the police are continually bothered with, accompany me to a nearby gasoline storage tank. But when they reach the tank, what happened here? Nate Grant, murdered. Sounds like Perone, Brokenshire, and some of their thugs are imprisoned in here. After the truck is towed to police headquarters. What is it, Casey? I think you're going to enjoy this, prosecutor. When the doors are finally opened. Perone and Brokenshire. Let's see you crawl out of this technicality. It's obvious that Brokenshire aided Perone in the attempt to dispose of Nate's body. That makes him equally guilty of the crime. Only one man could have trapped them in a truck like that. Superman. Huh. You always give Superman credit for everything. The end.